Hello there. Happy Focus Friday, the first Focus Friday in December. And as you can see, I'm sporting a Christmas hat because it is the season. And I love, love, love Christmas. And I am so excited to be here today to have a conversation with our HOA manager, Barrett Miller. He's been with us since August 2020 and has done an exceptional job with our HOA management and growing our HOAs and just really fine-tuning the entire process and program. So we're gonna get to know him a little bit today is what we want to do. So Barrett, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, good morning. So yes, my name is Barrett Miller. I originally grew up in the Denver area, grew up in Inglewood to be exact. My family has been in Colorado and Denver for multiple generations going back to the mining days. Went to school in Gunnison, Colorado at Western State. Got my degree in business management with a emphasis in marketing, and my minor was environmental studies. And from there, I met my wife and ultimately moved to Telluride, which is how I kind of ended up on the Western Slope. From there, I lived in Telluride for about 14 years. And then we started having children and could no longer afford to live in the mountains. So my wife grew up here in Grand Junction. So we moved back to be with grandma and grandpa and really enjoyed being in the valley here. And now I have a 10-year-old daughter and a 6-year-old son. So we are in the thick of being parents here in Grand Junction.
That is so fabulous. And I love that story. And Telluride's loss, our gain. That's all I can say. Super excited about that. So tell us a little bit about your background. I mean, obviously from what you've just said about what you studied was not necessarily HOA management. So how did you get into HOA management? And then talk about the credentials that you've got, your CMCA, and then you just got your, I don't want to mess it up, Associate Management Specialist designation.
Correct. Yes. So being in a resort market, I worked in a plethora of hotels, from every avenue of, the first guy you see when you walk in the door to being in guest services. I did reservations, and ultimately I worked for a company in Telluride, and I got hired to be front desk. The girl that did all the HOA management went on maternity leave, and they decided to have me fulfill that role. And as they say, the rest is history. I really found I had a knack for it. HOA management involves managing a lot of balls and moving parts all at once and keeping them all in line. So yeah, I really kind of cut my teeth doing that. As they say, OJT, on the job training, I learned by doing. And, in Telluride, I managed fractionals, I managed multi-million-dollar condos. We had freestanding homes. We had, classic traditional condominium projects. I learned a lot. We also had a metro district, which is a very unique type of HOA. So I've done a plethora of different types of management, different styles. Ultimately having a business degree, each HOA is basically like a corporation or a company. You have shareholders, which are the homeowners and the people that are vested and, own within your community. So your board of directors is just like a corporation. They're there to manage the association, maintain home values, make sure things are getting done as the governing documents of the association dictate. So my job basically is to assist the board of directors get that done. I chose the Bachman Turner Overdrive music today for taking care of business because that's basically what I feel like I do all day long. Assist and get things done. Not only am I helping the boards, but anytime a homeowner has a question or an issue within the homeowners association, they reach out to me. I'm the first point of contact. In addition, I'm also assisting and helping getting all the maintenance and vendor management done within the association, and also helping them practice good governance and follow all the new state rules that have been recently passed and coming down. So it is a whirlwind of activity. Some days are better than others, but most of the time, everybody is usually pretty happy. I mean, the ultimate goal of an HOA is to protect your investment within that community or your home and make sure your home values stay where they should be. So that's really my ultimate goal, is to make sure that home values are protected and increased and, people are happy where they live.
I love that. That's great. And you, yeah, obviously a wide range of, I'm going to call them hats that you need to wear. But yes, and you do a fabulous job. I mean, you maintain the decorum that you need to maintain when you're having your conversations. I know I've been exposed to some of them, and Sarah just said that she's heard them too.
You know, one of the early things I learned in my hotel days, because you know, I ultimately guest satisfaction is paramount. You really want to make sure people are happy, and despite them being angry at you, you know, they might be having a bad day. You know, I was always told, if the person on the other end of the phone call can't hear you smiling, you're not doing a good job when it comes to customer service. So that's what I try to shoot for, even when I'm getting yelled at.
That is great. Customer service is tantamount, right? Treating our clients and customers right. So with the background that you've got, and then you've got your 2 designations, and you just recently got the AMS. So tell us, you know, explain a little bit to the people that are here, and then they can, you know, expand on that as how does that bring more value to our HOA management program? And then how does that translate to value and service to our agents?
Yeah, so it first and foremost, it sets us aside from our competition, because a lot of our competition is not credentialed and they are not following up and staying inactive in the, you know, in the industry, much like Gen Blue, when our agents go and attend and, you know, find out what's going on and keep educated. That's very much what I'm doing, the same thing with what's called Community Associations Institute. They are nationwide, and they basically are the go-to entity for all HOA management, both, you know, large scale and small homeowners associations. They constantly are basically the pulse of the industry. So they've set the standard, as it would be. So yeah, first and foremost, a few years back, all personnel that did the job that I have to do used to have what was called your CAM certification through the state, which was the Community Associations Manager, and I held mine up until it was vetoed and it is no longer required. But, you know, what they saw within this industry is there was a need for education and credentialing, and really, you know, rising it up to the level it needed to be. There are a lot of details within associations to be managed and handled. And if you don't have the proper people, you know, doing that, you can really have bad things happen with associations. You know, one of the things we within the industry look at is what's recently happened, you know, with the condo collapse in Florida. You know, there's a lot of issues that came as a result of that. You know, there was a lot of deferred maintenance. There was HOA boards that could be held liable. So, you know, we have people that are volunteering to be on these board of director positions, and it's my job to make sure that they're seeing the big picture. You know, deferred maintenance, challenges, risk management. That's everything that we're learning, or I'm learning within these classes that I've been taking as well. So I held my CAM licensure as required by the state. In addition, I also got what was called my CMCA, and I still maintain that. To do that, you have to take industry classes and pass background checks and certifications. And then most recently, I got my AMS, and yeah, you have to take at least 2 200 level classes within their industry. I've taken 4. And then you have to be within the industry actively managing HOAs for at least 2 years. I'm going on my 13th year now of managing HOAs. So I've got that under control. But I am working effectively what's called my PCAM, which is a Professional Community Association Manager certification. And nationwide, it's a very small designated group of people that have this. So it is a very industry sought after credential. And by getting these type of certifications, not only shows our competition that we're very literate on what we're doing, but we're basically leading the industry in knowing what we're doing. As you mentioned, when I came on board, you know, I did a lot of education for these homeowners and these board of directors to really get them doing the job they should be doing. And, you know, we've really seen a lot of really good response. And, you know, the HOAs that are run effective and correctly, they tend to have higher home values. And, you know, as agents know, homeowners associations can be very complicated. So it's very important for them to know what they're selling. You know, the last call you want to get is a homeowner that's bought into something and they didn't realize they bought into an HOA, and then now they're upset because there's new rules and guidelines they're expected to follow and pay into. So it's very important to understand and know what HOAs deliver for homeowners and what exactly they should be doing and where their money goes to when they pay into it.
Yeah, that is so great. And I love just the background of the different credentials and how that is setting us apart from our competition in the market. And then how you're also being able to take that and expand into the other markets that we also operate in. We've got Montrose, we've got the possibility of Durango. I mean, any of our markets we can, use your expertise to expand into and provide more value and service to our agents and our clients. So tell us a little bit about just HOAs and some of the statistics that I know you've got running around in that brain of yours. And then how you bring value for our agents. So like, even if they're not buying a home or selling a home in an HOA we manage, you are a wealth of information for them if they have questions when they're taking on a listing or they're working with a buyer.
Yeah, definitely. So, well, just some national statistics. Right now, and this is a current survey that was done within the last year by CAI, we have 74.2 million people across the USA that live currently in homeowners associations. So it's a very large amount of group of people, and it is getting bigger year by year. In the United States, there are 358,000 registered HOAs that operate and have to do basically with what I've just described. So we've got, they're far reaching and they are everywhere. And so statistically that breaks down to about 29% of people across the United States live currently in a homeowners association. So there are big numbers and it is out there everywhere. Currently I manage 27 HOAs and I have 1,661 doors. So we have a big reach, as far as the customers that we support and help and, deal with. One thing that is a value that I can help with the agents, if you're unsure how to read a CC&R or a declaration, I'm happy to look them over and tell you exactly here's what the homeowners association should be providing. Legally, there are also disclosures that they should be providing to you upon request. And those include budgets, governing documents, meeting minutes, things of that nature. So if you're having difficulties finding those or requesting those, I'd be happy to assist. In addition, I've helped find who the registered agent is. If you've got a listing and you can't find any contact information at all for the homeowners association, they should be registered in DORA and Secretary of State. If you're unable to find those, I can help you look those up. Try to get you in contact with the people that you should be in contact with so you can get all the necessary documents so you can proceed to sale.
That is so great. And it's valuable for everybody to understand and know that we can do that, because a lot of our properties that we're dealing with, whether it's buying or selling, are going to be in HOAs, as you just pointed out with the statistics. They're pretty big.
Yes.
So what are you seeing, kind of anything changing or any dynamic in the HOA world that would be important for us to be paying attention to?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, the state is becoming increasingly more and more involved in the day-to-day operations of these HOAs. Most recently, an example of this is they've passed House Bill 1137, which is a far sweeping bill of legislation that requires a lot of changes and updates to the homeowners associations. It dictates things of covenant enforcement, fines, budgeting, parking enforcement. It's very far sweeping. It is a very big piece of legislation, and it's very important that the HOAs are following these new rules that go through, because there are fines and penalties that can be assessed towards the board of directors and the associations themselves and the management companies if they're not doing it correctly. So it's very important to make sure that they're staying up on their governing documents, the rules, everything of that nature, because if you've got an HOA board that's going rogue and not doing what they're supposed to, there is a lot of liability there. And as a homeowner, since you're invested into this conglomerate, as it were, that's your money as well. Mm-hmm. And if you end up in a lawsuit or, there's a claim, anything like that, that's your money as well that can go out the door. So it'll ultimately affect your home price as well.
That is great information. And it's, always good to have a resource that can help identify and understand some of those things, because I know there's a lot of that stuff I'm certainly not going to understand. So you're my go-to.
Yes. As we know, people have strong opinions about homeowners associations. So it's good to know what's real, what's not, and how to kind of get through it all.
Yeah. I love it. And we're always looking to grow, as we know, and, you're working hard to grow the markets and make sure that we've got, HOAs that we can properly manage, and, help them become even better HOAs. So what are some of the things that you're doing that are kind of helping promote the services that we offer?
Yeah, well, I mean, first and foremost is providing the best customer service and service I can to every existing client, because the way we really do get business is by word of mouth and referral. So doing the best job we can possibly do for every existing client, and, expanding that palette and getting out, reaching out to others. Obviously increasing the Coldwell name and getting that we've got exceptional properties that are tied to that. Beyond that, I'm happy to if anyone does have a lead or any questions, again, as always, I'd be happy to help them answer any questions, look that over. Please reach out to me, and yeah, we're always looking for new clients, new marketplaces. As I mentioned, when I was in Telluride, I mean, I managed associations in Denver, Durango, Snowmass, Montrose, Telluride, and we did a lot of that remotely. We did do a lot of travel as well to attend meetings, but technologically speaking, you don't have to be in the city anymore to manage that association, as long as you've got the right board members in place and the right infrastructure set up. You can really do a lot of good, even just remotely and electronically for these associations now.
That is great. I love that. Thank you. And I'm going to brag on you just a little bit. And I think Carrie's going to cue this up for us. But with the assistance, I believe, of Mr. Brandon Chudy, Barrett put together an amazing video about the HOA management, what we offer, the value. We've got it out there, and we would love to play it right now for everybody to see.
Hi, my name is Barrett Miller. I am the Director of Association Services here at Coldwell Banker Commercial Prime Properties. Some of the services that we can offer your homeowners association is being the first contact for questions or issues with the board and the owners of your association. We also offer full accounting services, administrative management, compliance for both the state and local level. We'll help attend, plan, and help your annual meeting and board meetings. We also specialize in doing reporting, rules enforcement, and website management. Please reach out to us if you are interested in learning how we can help your homeowners association. All of our contact information is listed below.
Yay! That was great. We need to be doing more of those types of things. I love it that, we tell our agents video, and now I've got my team doing video. I love it.
And that was my first experience with it, and I was a little scared, I'll admit, but Brandon did a great job kind of coaching me through it, Nicole. So it's definitely something that's a lot easier than it looks. So don't be scared to try.
I love it. I don't know, Carrie, do we have any questions for Barrett, or any general questions about HOAs? I haven't seen anything pop in the chat, so I'm not sure.
Everybody likes your hat.
I don't get to show them off as much anymore, so there you have it. I love it. Well, now you do, Joey. That's awesome. She didn't know that we had that service, so we can help out. Barrett's out of our Grand Junction location, but he certainly can help out with things that are going on in Idaho and look over documents and help us out there. So.
And your question, so the statute that is enforcing HOAs, because I am in Colorado, it is specific to Colorado, but yeah, there was House Bill 1137, which specifically is to Colorado and Colorado HOAs. And then the master kind of document that governs HOAs within Colorado is called Kiowa, at CCIOA. It is different state to state. That is something that unfortunately is not universal at this point, but it is pretty similar. I could do some research, but I'm not exactly sure what Kansas's laws or statutes are at this point. I do apologize.
No need to apologize. It's okay. Do we have any other questions or comments for Mr. Barrett? All righty, team. Well, I think with that, we're going to wrap up our first Focus Friday in December. Very excited for the season to start, as we know. And I really, really appreciate you being here today, Barrett. It was great information. I think it had provided a lot of value to the folks and gave them some insight into that, you know, the services that we have that they may not know that we have available to them in all of our markets. Because like I said, you are a wealth of information. So even though you're in Colorado, you've got the mindset that can help our folks in other states to discern some of the information. So be sure and reach out to him. He's there for you all to help however he can. He's like, thanks, Teresa, I appreciate that. And I wish you all a fabulous, fabulous weekend and a happy Friday.